You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Join the party. Head over to our Linktree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
We are live. All right, happy Monday. Welcome to my buddy Robbie.
The single most important thing is I've got my comics this week already.
And that's the only reason he came back.
And I gotta go. No, I'm just kidding.
So people are already guessing if you watch the new oh my gosh, I've had
Lightyear.
The Buzz Lightyear movie.
Is tonight's contest how many times I've seen it?
I wasn't even going to run a contest, but let me see. We got Dwayne's a Pain, Dave Cerrone in the house. Let's see, who guessed? Preston in the house. I think Preston raised the question first. No, Dwayne's a Pain raised the question. How many times did John see Lightyear? Preston's already guessed 8. Dave Cerrone has guessed 4.
Wow, people already guessed.
Dwayne's a Pain says, I'd say 1 if he did at all. So that would be the 0.
Dwayne, wow, man, you really don't think I'm loyal to Regal Unlimited. That's an act.
I think you're just trying to get you $21 money's worth. Any comments? What's up, buddy?
Punch it. And you know what? My wife said the same thing. She said, you did it with the Marvel movies, but now to get your money's worth, you're doing it with everything. I was like,
I agree.
She's not wrong.
I would agree with that completely.
Considering is how she burns my money as if it was possessed by Satan. I got to do something. Oh, let's not keep any of this.
I'm recording.
Amazon is like, thanks,
By the way, I'm just letting you know, I'm recording all this stuff and sending it to your wife.
Like she watches this show. Are you kidding me?
That's why I have to record and send it to her.
She would rather she tells people into the strip club rather than doing a comic book streaming show. It's less shameful for her.
You and Ron have a lot in common. Hey, cool game. What's going on? Stevie B in the house. All right. So you know what? Let's start with the best offer books. I think we only have.
I'll tell you the difference between Ron and I.
What?
If my wife tased me, her parents would ground her. They love me.
Okay, she's a grown adult woman. I don't think they have the power to do that.
I watched her mother tell her to go to her room last year, and she closed her mouth and turned around and walked to the other side of the house. I never loved someone more in my life.
All right, so first best offer book of the night. Preston, what's going on, buddy? So we have Secret Wars #1, Dynamic Forces Edition, signed by the original and classic artist Mike Zeck. Suggested retail of $49.99. It is also number 442 of 1984. We have one available for special offer. The year Secret Wars was first released, $19.84. So that is a bargain on any level, especially for something signed by Mike Zeck. Preston, are we experiencing technical difficulties? No, I don't think so.
Not that I can tell.
No. Jay?
No, it's just me.
Yeah.
Somebody claimed it already.
Keep is already on top of it. You got it, creative. All right, so that book is gone.
Creative Keep doesn't have time to run through the whole thing.
That's right,
He's
right.
just, no, bang, I'm done.
Yeah, he's trying to avoid a recap.
Let's look him in. Ron, just came in. Hey, Ron. How you
Hey,
doing, bud?
Ron, what's going on, buddy? So, Ron, hopefully, I know that you got an email. You got an email from Nick, I think, today. Hopefully, if it comes in the next day, we should be able to have the Cowboy Bebop on Wednesday's show. But as of yet, I have not heard that we have received it from the back, but we still have tomorrow. So if we get it in tomorrow or anytime early Wednesday, I will throw it on the show. It does feel a bit glitchy, Jay says. Interesting. Glitchy on your end, glitchy on our end. Robbie, does it seem glitchy to you?
Not to me.
Not to me. Robbie sounds like Max Headroom. It's glitchy.
Max Headroom.
Well, the best part about this
it's
is
a good thing you did that on this show as opposed to the show with Alec, because Alec would not probably understand.
I loved Max Headroom.
Alex has Google up at all times now. I can just tell. Because when we reference something, his poker tell is his eyes shoot to his screen instead of the camera.
That's true. That is true.
And that means, oh, God, what did Pop-Up mention now?
All right. So Creative Keep. You know what, Creative Keep? I just realized that book is the best offer starting at 1984. So I got you down for 1984. I apologize, my friend. It has already been an extraordinarily long week, and it's Monday. All right. So the next best offer book that's up, Star Trek Green Lantern, The Spectrum War #1, blank cover variant signed with a Spock sketch by Ken Hazer. So best of both worlds, suggested retail of $89.99. It is a CCA best offer book starting at 1966.
That's gorgeous.
And that it's just amazing.
It's gorgeous, and the likeness is there. It's so fantastic.
All day long. You know, what'd be cool is if we could get him to do a Leonard Nimoy with a what's his face, the one in the movies. I forget his name also.
Quinto.
Oh, you don't Zachary Quinto?
Quinto, yes.
And now we have Ethan Peck too. We have multiple people playing Spock.
Yeah,
Ethan
exactly.
Peck plays a very well.
So that would be interesting.
Yeah, I'll be playing the role of AR tonight. What's Spock? What's a Spock?
I remember the Baby Doctor. Oh.
It is not fair to make fun of Alec when he's not here. We save that for Wednesday.
We save that for when he's here.
Yeah, come on, guys.
I was just going off of what Marcus was saying in the chats. I was trying to keep it fun.
His Juice Box segment is the hidden
I love
show.
that guy, AR. He's awesome.
All right, so Preston is going to start us off. You got it, Preston, at 1966 on that one. Awesome. All right.
Do you know the month and day?
Of what?
Star Trek?
I do not.
September 9th.
I believe.
I knew it was September, but I didn't remember the day. I wasn't there.
John definitely was. He had a little bit more hair back then.
Did I?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I did.
I'm guessing. You know? Yeah. So
I was 2 years.
The last time John had a full head of hair.
2 years
He
and a
was
week.
two.
It's about, right?
Oh my gosh. So where were you? Where'd you go?
I can't disclose that at this time.
What are you working with the CIA?
It's funny that you mentioned that. No.
Yeah, but you would have told me.
I mean, they'd have to stick me in 2 cubicles so you get in there. I'm their inside man in the food scene. No, I was up in Princeton. A buddy of mine was working on his house, and
nice.
had another friend that's up there, and he passed away last year, and we're trying to sort of help his wife out a little bit. So it was like a weird kind of bittersweet sort of weekend.
Yeah, Dwayne Zapane says he was filming Deadpool 3.
That superhero movie I could be in.
Oh my god.
And also The Boys. I want to say The Boys.
Oh, Dave is correcting you. He says September 8th,
the
not
8th?
September 9th. I don't know. I openly admit it.
Burned by Dave Cerrone.
Dave coming in with the day, splitting hairs.
I don't know. I'd have to check that actually, but he's kind of sketchy character. Just blows in. Not much value to the show added.
All right. Next up. Let's do another book. Let's do Wonder Woman #0.
Hello, Joel.
Hey, Joel, what's going on? Signed in gold by Cliff Chang. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is number 20 of 20, signed in gold. So if you are into the limited edition numbers, this is always key. It is the last book in the edition of 20, so 20 out of 20. Let's see. We have it as a 5-star book at $50. And there's a note here that Paper Girls is hitting from Amazon this year. So we're doing this 5-star at 50. Wonder Woman #0, signed in gold by Cliff Chang, limited to only 20, and this is number 20 of 20.
And of course, Cliff Chang being the co-creator of Paper Girls, along with Brian K. Vaughan. This was a run that him and Brian Azzarello did, and it goes down as my personal favorite run on Wonder Woman, is this new 52 run by Azzarello and Chang. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. They kind of reinterpreted Wonder Woman and Diana's story. They kind of threw some Game of Thrones things going on in there where Zeus is off the throne. Everybody's making these manipulations to get there. So it's filled with all this intrigue and all these interesting interpretations of the Greek gods, and actually providing a supporting cast with those Greek gods for Wonder Woman, which I loved. And also I Googled it, and it is September 8th, John.
Thank you. That's funny. No, he wanted to bet some Green Hornet. Well, we're going to do some Green Hornet trivia.
Uh-oh. Nobody's going to.
Nobody's a $500 buy-in.
Dude,
for
nobody's
that.
going to take you on in that category.
I'm sure there will. There'll be somebody who'll be like, yeah, I'm ready. And then we'll get to like the $500
Not anybody
question.
that watches this show regularly. Joelle, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Belated Father's Day.
Oh, yeah. And all the dads in our,
I did want to take a moment to mention, I saw it on Facebook and Nick confirmed it. Miss Jen of The Experience, her father passed away the other day. So our thoughts and our prayers are obviously with her and her family at this time. It's a shame. So I'm not sure what the schedule is. I know she will not be on tonight after our show for obvious reasons. So our thoughts and prayers are out to you, Miss Jen.
Her shows will be back tomorrow with her staff and I and Henri and everybody else from The Experience covering until she's back.
All right, there you go. Kyle, you're here.
Kyle's here. And she might appreciate some some good wishes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
sent
I'm
her
sure.
way too.
I'm
Time like
sure.
this,
So,
can't
very
imagine
sad.
it's super difficult.
Yeah, very sad.
This would be a great time to maybe just get out a little bit with a little.
Yeah, I know she posted something on Facebook, so probably the best way to share your thoughts and
right there. Yeah.
So she can check it when she gets a chance. All right, so Dave's got a trivia
the answer
question.
is all of them. That's a trick question.
Hey, John, did you show Rex the pictures I sent you this weekend?
I did
barbecue.
It's
You were traveling. You're traveling somewhere. I saw on Facebook, right, for a barbecue competition.
We were in Oak Park, Michigan, doing barbecue competition this past weekend.
So that was an old post because you were asking if you knew anybody that lived in the area, right?
Yeah, no, I was looking for somebody to bring me energy drinks and water because it was about 108 degrees.
Wow.
And I got 2 hours sleep. So I was dying, but they had killer funnel cakes at the barbecue competition, so I wasn't angry.
So are you driving or flying to these competitions?
Oak Park is like an hour and a half from my house.
Oh, all right. So you drove. Okay.
So we drove.
I'm just trying to get a feel of, you hear all these horror stories about air travel right now.
Well, when I come out there to Eastern Pennsylvania and Northern New Jersey to do the state competitions later in the year, I will probably fly and have my stuff shipped there to the office and make John bring it to me.
That's actually where's the competition going to be?
I got like 3 of them in Western Pennsylvania, like near Philly, and then in Northern New Jersey.
I warn you, Kyle, if it's the equipment plus the uncooked meat, it may not be here when you get here.
At state comps, they provide you the meat.
In the back of the building, and we're going to have a little employee barbecue, baby.
When we go to break, to show you a picture of these wings. If he ships those, I'll just send him a Venmo payment, man. These look so
But
good.
that's not going to help him.
At a state competition, they give you the meat. That way everybody's cooking the same cut.
That makes sense.
Usually there's a sponsor, right?
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. That's a level playing field for everybody.
Company called Wichita Packing sponsors most of the state competition in the Midwest. Out there, it's a different company, but it's still a porterhouse.
But no, that makes a lot of sense to me. I didn't know that, but that levels the playing field for all the competitors. So that makes sense.
It's super smart.
Yeah, it is. It is. So that's something I did not know about barbecue competitions. All Ron, when did you
Well,
send
the
the
real
email? I may have missed it.
competitions do that. The real competitions do
What,
that.
they're fake competitions?
Basically, yeah. If you talk to a barbecue person, someone that is not, there's like a set of rules, and you need certified judges.
Right.
For real money competitions. I mean, it's one thing for me to sit in when we're doing fundraising for whatever, right? Everybody's just having a good time. It's like a pro-am, so sometimes amateurs are there.
Right.
But the real circuits, like the real sort of organized stuff, the boxes have to be turned in a certain way. There's rules for time. I mean, Kyle will be able to speak on this way more than
Yeah,
I
we
am.
won $2,200 cooking ribs and chicken wings this week. It's not good. There's no goofing around.
Yeah, no, it's money.
Well, I will say this. It's unfortunate that you were not in this area this weekend for a barbecue competition, and we're in Michigan where it was 108.
Yikes, man.
Because
it was
in
nice
our
there this
area,
weekend.
it was beautiful. I mean, it was
Well, that's with the smoker. Like, it was only like 85 out, but when you're cooking over a 400-degree wing pit, you're asking for it.
Somebody asked me this weekend if I miss, cooking every day or professionally. I'm like, no, not even fractionally. The number of times I, had to have water poured on me, IV pumped into me. Dude, you're too fat to do this job. Yes, I agree. But, this is the only thing I can do.
Oh, man. All right, let's get to the next book. All right, so we have J. Michael Straczynski's 10 grand #1 DF exclusive J. Lee cover signed by J. Michael Straczynski. Suggested retail of $69.99. It is number 7 of 115, signed in silver. So you're looking at a single-digit edition number, only 115 signed, and obviously Jay Lee has quickly become a superstar. And it is we have one available at $40 to anybody who's interested, and I really like this cover.
See, and I'll tell you this: anybody that's going to Heroes Con this upcoming weekend, Jay Lee will be there. Ben Templesmith will be there. Pick this up, take it there, get the 2 artists to sign it. So there you go.
Multi-signed book.
10 grand was great. It's basically J. Michael Straczynski doing Constantine without being bogged down by editorial or continuity or anything like that. It's a really fantastic book.
Well, Stevie B, yes, the food conversation started early. You better grab a few beef jerkies and some tang. But maybe later on in the show, if Kyle gets a chance, you'll throw up the picture you sent John, because there's nothing like looking at barbecue.
Those are about as good. The picture I saw, those are about as good as wings get. I've been to a lot of barbecue competitions, attending, sometimes like as the host, never as a competitor or judge. But I've seen a fair amount of barbecue in my life. I haven't seen wings that close to perfect. I mean, that's like 9.999. You know what I mean?
So Kyle, just out of curiosity, how many people show up? Competitors show up to these things usually?
This weekend, we were competing against the Indiana State Championships. So it was a low number. We only had 24 or 25 teams. There were 65 teams at the Indiana State Championships.
Wow.
We didn't qualify for the Indiana State Championships, so we didn't go. But you'd see anywhere normally between 50 and 75 teams. If you want it to be a Jack Daniel's qualifier, you got to have at least that many. And everybody wants them to be Jack Daniel's qualifiers. So
now I have never been to one. Are these things like open to the public?
I mean, yeah, you could come hang out.
Right. No, yeah. I don't mean like join as competitors.
Some of the events are ticketed, like the one at Six Flags.
Right.
It's almost like part of the, I won't say part of the admission, but yeah, basically it's part of the admission. You have to pay to get in. Others are sort of handled by their respective governing bodies, like how they do it. Sometimes people can just come by. This part of the country, because of so much crowding, you have to have a ticket. Like when I went to Monmouth Park, they were like, yeah, no, we don't have enough room. You have to have a spot, a ticket, parking, whatever. They shuttled people over. It's an old racetrack. There was no room for people.
Let us know when the one in our area starts to come around. I've never been to one. It sounds like a lot of fun. I've watched.
Yeah, it's so like around here, generally they're in a park or at a VFW hall or someplace where you can put a bunch of teams with big old trailers. We did one series of competitions back in the day. Sam's Club and Walmart were a big sponsor when we first got into it, and we would do them in Sam's Club or Walmart parking lots, so anybody could just roll up. But to get meat and stuff, you had to have a ticket, or we can't sell or any of that kind of stuff because of health code.
Right.
But like, if you were a friend of ours, we could give you a bracelet. You could get in, and then as long as you were wearing the bracelet, nobody would yell at you for eating the food.
Look at this. Check it out. The rips keep on coming, but I'm bummed. For those of you tuning in for comics, check back in 15 minutes. Dwayne's a pain.
Do you want to talk about your little?
No,
not yet.
Not yet. I'll set a timer.
Okay. All right. So Nick's gonna come in with something very special that came in today. Literally, we opened the box today.
Yeah.
All right.
But hit that thumbs up between now and then.
Right. And all I will say is it has something to do with the boys. So Nick will come in and explain it in probably after the first break.
We actually got a few things. I can't wait till we can sort of make more announcements and stuff like that. There's, I would say I'm a fly on the wall because first of all, no wall can hold me. Second of all, I'm a pretty big fly. But knowing certain things, I'm really looking forward to the rest of this year.
All right, so let's do. This is a cool one. Let's do a stray. We have 2 stray dog items tonight.
Nice.
So this one is Stray Dogs, Dog Days #1, signed by Tony Fleets. Suggested retail of $40, $39.99. We have one available, number 21 of 150, for $29.99. And this one obviously signed by Tony Fleets. So that is, I know that a lot of Stray Dog fans out there. Okay, Creative Keep is one of them. Gotcha, Creative.
I'm going to say this once again for I really appreciate the people watching on Twitter. I really, really do. And you should do that. You know what? Everybody should use their preferred platform. However, if you want to actually pick up books, bid on something, join in the conversation with our usual crew, you need to be on like Facebook, YouTube, and I guess Twitch. You need, because right now that's not. You can watch the show on Twitter, and I know a lot of people do, but I don't think you can sort of contribute. Yeah, like if you want to shoot comments or whatever. And as much as I appreciate it, adding me on Twitter, I love it, but that doesn't really help you in terms of the show. You're just telling me something. It's just like you shooting a DM, though. People in Twitter don't use it.
Right.
Twitter comment API is supposed to be unlocked by the end of Q3. That's according to the developers at StreamYard, the software we use.
Thank you, sir. Hopefully, would they hear Kyle? Would they have heard that?
Yeah, Kyle.
No, on Twitter, would they have heard that?
If they're watching, they'd have heard.
Okay, cool. Thanks, pal. Appreciate it. So, everybody, like I said, join us on a supported platform now, and then, when that update comes, we can sort of. Dwayne's pain. Elon is making changes.
Also, Dwayne, eat your heart out, buddy.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Yeah, see? He sent me a picture of this, let me tell you.
That's done.
See?
And these are the ribs.
Wow. Anybody hungry?
But is that not the most beautiful picture of chicken you've ever seen?
Yeah.
Because they're all flats, as they should be.
I have to say, other than the shadow of your feet.
Other than the what?
Shadow of your feet next to the grill.
That isn't the shadow. Those are my actual feet. They're just that big.
Okay, doesn't really change too much.
Yeah.
Creative, I apologize. With Amy out, I have been absolutely buried. I keep making myself a note, but it's been crazy. So I have not. I promise I will go tomorrow into the warehouse and pull one. I know that we have one. All right.
You don't care about these viewers at all.
You don't even show up. You didn't show up last week. I don't care about the viewers.
I was busy.
Doing what? See? This vague helping a friend in Princeton thing, okay? Come on.
You realize me being here is helping a friend, right?
No, it's so you can change new comic book day from Wednesday to Monday. Okay?
That was annoying waiting till Wednesday. I don't appreciate that. All of the LCSs are like, how come you come in Friday now? I don't need to be here on Wednesday.
What do I need to be here for? I'm just here to hang out. Oh, Dwayne's a pain. Compliment to Kyle. Seriously, looks like what I see on BBQ Pitmasters.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
that really is. Yeah, I mean, wow. Yeah, I need a cold beer too. Who said they needed a cold beer?
That's why I'm saying there's a big difference between shootout, just kind of like what they call wild dog cookouts. Barbecue is one of those things that are very structured. It's real money. It's not like $100 Amazon Visa card or something. It's real money.
There was a period when my daughter and I were just like binging these barbecue competitions on Netflix or something. I don't know why. It just made us hungry. But we were binging. It was just the most fascinating thing for the longest time. Then I realized it's way too much work and I'm going to lose every competition. So why not? All right. So it is time to take our first break. So we'll take our first break and then we'll get to another book, and Robbie will pick the book when we get back. All right. So stay with us.
Get the inside scoop on everything happening at the experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox. Did you know that every experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code. There's a super new way to support your friends over at The Experience. Head over to YouTube and send us a super chat, a super sticker, or a super thanks. We'll be super grateful for your support. And then keep an eye out as we launch membership services over on YouTube. It'll be a great way to get first look access at new content and shows before anybody else. Keep your eyes peeled and make sure you're following us on YouTube.
And we're back. All right.
So Dave wants us to interrupt the barbecue show with comics. What would you like, Dave? What do you need that you don't already own and hawk on Instagram?
And Creative Keep says I'm sure it's better than Southern California barbecue. They drown it in brown sugar. See, I'm not getting off it.
They also have like a unique style. And again, Kyle can probably speak more to this. They have like a unique style grill they use there. It's not the kind of grill that I've seen them use in the South or the Midwest or here in the East. It's this weird sort of like fire structure, and there's like a winch, and you're kind of lowering the meat up and down. It's very different than anything.
A lot of the West Coast guys use the Komodo grill or the Big Green Egg these days.
The Big Green Egg,
yeah, it's getting more universal, but they use a different kind of style than we use.
Okay. Interesting. Now I really want barbecue.
The closest I've had to barbecue in the West Coast was a few years ago. We grabbed a sandwich somewhere, and they had barbecue tri-tip, and I didn't want to wait an hour because they were backed up. So I said, fine. And it was a good sandwich. It's a nice piece of meat. I didn't, they did a nice job. I just, it's not going to catch, I don't think pulled pork is in any danger of getting bumped as the barbecue sandwich or brisket.
All right, so let's do Siege Storming Asgard Heroes and Villains, signed by Greg Land. Suggested retail of $49.99. We have one available. It is number 5 of 75, wow. Only 75 signed. And we have one available for $19.62. for the year Thor first appeared in Journey into Mystery, and I am looking forward to the upcoming movie as well, which we all.
That's nice.
And that will be a contest on a later show. How many times did John see that one? But when it comes out,
that will be. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Greg Land, the other day I was going through a collection, and there were a bunch of cross-gen books, right? And as we're sorting the collection, I told the employees, I was like, hey, if you come across any cross-gen books, just set them aside. They're going to go into the dollar bin, right? And they were like, man, cross-gen must have really sucked. I was like, no, there's some really good stuff in there. And then somebody held up an issue of Sojourn, and they were like, oh, this is Greg Land. This must be terrible. I was like, no. Look inside of that. That artwork in Sojourn back in those days, that's what put Greg Land on the map. And then he started getting more work over at Marvel and stuff. But some of that cross-gen stuff easily have found in dollar bins, quarter bins, bargain bins, stuff like that. But a lot of it is really worth it. Scion, you'll get some early Jim Chung work. You'll get some Greg Land stuff on Sojourn. You get Mark Waid and Butch Geis on Ruse. There's some really solid stuff. Bart Sears, really great stuff.
Almost all these people started with, stuff chances that you don't see that are in dollar bins or whatever. We mentioned Josh Williamson, who I guess was on your show a while back.
Right.
Yep.
And, people are like, oh, he started on this and he started on that. And I tell people, go look at something like Masks and Mobsters. You know what I mean? And that's probably something that, Masks and Mobsters, or I hate to say it, somebody found Ghosted in the dollar bin. Ghosted is one of the flat out coolest things I've ever seen and read, like of anything. And he's finding issues of Ghosted in the dollar bin. So if you want to see Josh Williamson before like the DC flashing of his work, you can kind of pop back a little bit. Nailbiter, which I keep hearing they're sort of working on for Amazon or whoever, streaming service. And that would be neat. I would really, really like to see more of, like Ghosted.
Right.
But there's a lot there and it's available. I realize sometimes, somebody's huge and, Todd McFarlane's first cover, $18 million. Okay, I get it, Todd. But, there's many creators where you can find their real early work and see how they got from there to here. Plus these things are like really cool. I tell anyone, Masks and Mobsters is one of the best things I read that, like of independent work.
So Dwayne's a pain. Can't wait for the Vaporella potholders and Joel Vaporella salt pepper shakers. Did you guys hack our email system? That's right around the corner.
If Nick put me in charge of merchandising.
Oh my God. You would have seen them already. Are you kidding? There'd be a big green egg with Vaporella on it.
No, obviously that would be Green Hornet.
Of course. Excuse me.
Poor Nick, you know how many times he gets these texts from me with these terrible ideas? Hey Nick, you know what we need? And he's a good friend. He's just like, okay, that's interesting. Instead of, what's the matter with you? Go to bed. It's 3 a.m.
All right. Let's do a slab Green Hornet apron. But I like his idea, the Green Hornet Green Egg. That would be cool.
A collab with the Green Egg Company.
All right, so let's do a slab book. All right, so we have Gunslinger Spawn #1, CGC graded 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $69.99.
Fantastic book. Todd McFarlane cover. We just had Sean Lewis on the show, who's the writer of Kingspawn and The Scorched. And he was talking a little bit about how involved Todd and the writer of Spawn and himself, they're building this whole thing right now. And each book kind of has their own vibe. Like Scorched is a team book. Spawn is like perfect because it like amplifies all the stuff that happened in the first 20 issues of Spawn. Spawn is just continuing the story. Gunslinger Spawn's like a Western version, but he's like a fish out of water because he's in the modern day. I love this book. I think it's super solid. New issue out this week.
That's those fish out of water stories are very cool. More than once, Red Sonja has been bounced into the 20th or 21st century. There's been about 1 million other stories where characters get like bounced through time. It can, you have to be careful with it, but if it's done right, it's very, very cool.
Yeah. Plus, this is a fantastic cover by Todd McFarlane. One of his better ones, I think, recently. And I think he still does really good work. He just recently did variant covers on the Scorch that made up. It was like an homage to the Jim Lee X-Men #1, like with all the 4 different covers, and so they line up and all that with all the different Spawn verse characters. But that cover right there is super sharp.
Well, I remember when they first came in, and I think that just recently we started to get the graded ones back.
Yeah.
So the advantage of getting the slab books with us, no wait time. By the time you get done with submission fees and shipping fees, and you pay the expedited service, and you're still waiting months and months.
And that's a real solid price too, because I've seen these selling for way more than that, like at shows and things like that.
Right. All right. So Lars Man's not here tonight, man. I know he's traveling. He's been traveling a bit, but I've got some Spider-Man stuff here. So, and he is the world's largest Spider-Man fan, that's for sure. All right, so let's do.
Let Robbie pick one.
Yeah, Robbie, you pick one, buddy.
Well, Heroes Cons this weekend. I'm excited to go because I've met Trish and Tony from Stray Dogs like this, on StreamYard, on shows, on YouTube and stuff. But I get to meet them in person, and I'm super excited for it. So let's do that Stray Dogs CCA down there because that looks amazing.
All right. Oh, wow.
And I've been trying to figure out what it is. I can't quite figure it out. Oh, there we go.
That's oh God, what is that?
Is that House?
I think so.
I was gonna say,
it is part of Ken Hazer's horror film poster homages.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure it out. I was going to put it in the description, but I couldn't figure it out.
I'm pretty sure this one's House, isn't it? I think it is.
I think you're right. I was going to ask you, but then I got too busy.
Awesome.
Large man lurking.
And House. That's perfect for the theme of Stray Dogs.
Yeah. See, there
it is. Yep. Perfect. Creative Keep, you got it, buddy. You are fast tonight. All right, so let me find it here. All right. So Creative Keep is picking that one up.
If you talk to Ken a little bit, he really digs horror. Like, he's always dropping horror references on social media.
Well, he's working on the Fright Night book right now. There's a Fright Night book. I think, was it American Mythology or somebody? Yeah. I got the first issue. I'm a big Fright Night fan. And so when I saw him that he was working on it, I was like, I'm going to get it.
That Fright Night, I read that. That was very good. I thought they did a nice job.
Fun. It was fun.
Well, it's a good, it's a cool universe, right? There's these, you know what I mean? When they kind of build these properties, especially from the older movies, look what happened when they did Big Trouble in Little China. Right? I guess that was
a
Boom.
sleeper.
Was that Boom or IDW? I always get those.
Boom, I think, did that, yeah. And then they did the Escape from New York meets Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, they did Escape from New York. Then they did, I think they did Big Trouble first. Then they did Escape from New York. And then they had the 2 Kurt Russell characters meet in a weird sort of.
Didn't Eric Powell do some of that stuff? The guy that does the Goon and Hillbilly?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I need to go back and check some of that out.
Old Man Jack Burton. They've had a lot of fun with these sort of. Maybe some universes. I'm not sure.
We were talking about CrossGen earlier. They did a Snake Plissken comic book for a while. I don't know if many people remember that, but I used to read that. Only a few issues came out, I think.
Triple B in the house. What's going on, buddy?
Speaking of that, we have something coming up here where we have Army of Darkness meeting my favorite Lovecraft character. They've had this crossover 9-ish years ago, I think. And Ash from Army of Darkness meets Herbert West, Reanimator again. The cover for that's been kind of put out there is too cool. You've got Ash with the robot hand, and you've got Herbert West with probably a horse tranquilizer hypodermic. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it too because I adore Stuart Gordon's Reanimator so much, and Jeffrey Combs as Herbert West, oh my goodness. And I love the movie poster, and the tagline is one of my favorites, where it's Herbert West has a good head on his shoulders, and another one in a dish on the desk.
Another one in a dish on the desk. We did Vampirella Reanimator. Herbert West is just one of these kind of, I love that character. It doesn't matter what he's in, I'm into it.
So Stevie B says, I thought the drawing on that CCA was what we'd find upon returning home after leaving for a few hours.
Did we talk about this CCA?
We already did, and we have an offer on it from Preston.
Nice. And you gotta love this one too.
We have not gotten that one.
Well, we are now. He's holding it up, so start reading.
Yeah, I guess so, right? Okay, fine.
Nice.
All right, so Justice League number 16, We Can Be Heroes, a blank variant signed with a wraparound cover of Nightwing and Red Hood by Ken Hazer.
I love the way Ken does bats. We've seen him do this on Batman covers before, right?
So I'm not sure if Jay can stitch it together, but there you go. You're perfect there. You're almost
nice.
Perfect. Move. There you go.
Perfect.
Back up. Move forward a little. Oh, there we go. That works too.
Nice.
I love
That's
those
cool.
wraparound covers. And, you know, again, it's got to be so difficult to do that and the connecting covers that he does. All right, so that is.
Oh, here's a question from
Justice League number 16.
Here's a question from a viewer that I want to ask Nick. When's Purgatory coming back?
August. She's coming back with Lady Hell.
I was just going to say, one of the things I was like, not everything's been announced yet, but there's some really cool stuff coming up. And yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
So Nick let it out of the bag, so it's not me sort of being Tom Holland. And spoilers.
So Justice League number 16 has suggested retail of $99.99. We have one available tonight, and this is literally, we only have one in the building, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
$60.19 for 1960 when JLA first appeared in Brave and the Bold in 1960. This is number 6 of 10. So not, usually these cover sketches are not numbered. This particular one is, obviously, because it has the connecting cover. So can we throw that up one more time?
That cover, wow. That's,
Yeah, I thought it was, yeah. So you've got a wraparound cover, one book, and we have it available for $60.19. One of the best CCAs I've seen. And that says a lot. We've seen a lot of Hazer CCAs.
Are people bidding on this, or do you just send this to Ron?
No, this is a...
You just send these directly to Ron.
These are... this is a buy now. So, all right. And...
You know what makes a good artist? You guys know by now, obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of Batman and that whole Batman family universe, whatever.
Right.
He makes me want these books. I don't particularly like the characters, but the art is so good. Like I said, I never thought ever that one of my favorite things I own of like original art is the Alien cover. I like Alien. I watched the movies, but I wouldn't consider myself like a hardcore fan, trivia level expert guy or anything. I saw that, and that was it. I was just, I was sold. That's like the power of like a really good artist. Well, you get someone that'll do a character that you dislike or you don't even care about, and boom, you're in. Whether it's a bid or you just pulled it up.
Because the art itself is so phenomenal. Yeah. Ron already has one, so somebody else has an opportunity to get this tonight. We must have had one on an earlier show sometime, which is possible.
Here's your chance to be Ron for a day.
Here's your chance to go. Well, nobody can be Ron for a day. Okay, 700 plus. That's going to be pretty hard to catch him. But if anybody is interested in that one is available tonight.
I think at this point, Ron will cut out the middleman and just invite Ken to his house for the weekend.
Yeah, right.
Just buy him a couple pizzas and a couple Sixers.
I was going to say, buy him a couple pizzas and a drawing pad. Here you go.
All right, and as always, we have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, cover price of $3.99 or higher. So a suggested retail of $40 or higher. And as always, as a thank you to our viewers, we have it for $5 or 50 cents a copy. And they are 10 random Dynamite titles will be available for the rest of the show. And we have it on every show as a thank you.
And for that Purgatory question, I'm pretty sure you can get the original Purgatory, like that original run from Chaos. I guess it's been reprinted. You go to Dynamic Forces, the website, put Purgatory in, and all that stuff pops up.
Yeah.
I was messing around with the website the other day looking for. Somehow I was missing an issue of something from like way back when, and I was like, you know what? I think I could just go and get it at the website.
Right.
A lot of times when we reference stuff, like this had a previous run, that had a previous run. A little while ago, I mentioned Army of Darkness and Reanimator. If you want to prep for that, go and I'm pretty sure there's like a.
Yeah, I mean, both the Dynamite.com and DynamicForces.com websites have, a ton of stuff that we can't even come close to. New events, things like that, definitely sign up to the DynamicForces.com emailers, so you get regular emailers. You know, generally anything upcoming, anything interesting, you'll see there.
And you can check.
Did you have
Wow, Ron went up by plus
Wow.
20.
Wow.
Ron now has over 100
For 100, maybe
hazers.
Ken should just come and stay for free. Just do sketches or
Yeah,
whatever.
for real.
'Cause I've got
I was
three.
wondering if Dynamite has collected like purgatory books from the 90s, like in a graphic novel or something. Have you guys done that?
We ask the publisher.
We're working on it. It costs a lot of money to restore them.
All right, Creative Keep is going to jump on the Justice League.
Just
You guys-
Xerox them, Nick. Just Xerox them.
Xerox. Xerox.
The Boys Definitive Edition hardcovers. Check it out. I made this joke before because it's real. These are bigger than my mouth, and that's saying something. You can support these by going to our Kickstarter page, which hopefully Jay will put up, or you could go to dynamite.com. But you know what? The Kickstarter will be cool. And of course, my phone rings while I'm talking to you guys. I apologize. I will turn that off. So check out 90 issues.
That's cool.
And just in time for, look, we've seen Soldier Boy this season so far. We've seen Payback. We're about to get Hero G Asm. I'm not sure if you can say that online. So that's, and Volume 1 is also in comic stores tomorrow, Wednesday. If you want to pick it up from your local retailer too, support your local retailer. So we're happy if you buy it on the Kickstarter. Don't know if the team can.
I was just going to mention that. Ron's
put the
already ahead of
link.
me.
All right, now I'll be right back, Ron.
No, wait a minute.
These things are so heavy, Nick couldn't carry all 6 books in at once.
They look great. They look really good.
They are
Usually
legit.
Amy is here to do all the heavy lifting,
Yeah, right.
figuratively and literally.
I mean, I carried 6 of them because I had to take photographs for
So
editorial.
that's your 2022 workout? Because that would have been mine.
That pretty much was.
That would have been it.
Actually, one of the guys in the warehouse said, "Do you want me to carry half and I'll carry the other half?" I go, "Why?" He goes, "They're really heavy."
They're really heavy.
Check it out.
I think I'm gonna have to file for workman's comp. I think I hurt myself.
So-
I'm not kidding.
Here are the signed. All right, I can't hold
Yeah,
these.
Nick, I wouldn't do that, Nick. Something's gonna go down. Either one of the books or you.
It'll hit my foot, break my foot.
No.
And
So,
we won't be able to help.
they'll
you,
say
John, because
signed.
we're doing the show. Yeah.
Exactly. The show, Nick, the show must go on.
Keep yourself between the floor and the book at all times.
Signed by Garth and Derek. So,
Oh, and actually signed on the page, not like a signed book plate or nothing. That's cool.
exactly. So you can support us on the Kickstarter, if Jay can put up the Kickstarter as well. Or you can support us on dynamite.com or your local retailer.
Move your hand so they can see that the
There
dust
we
cover.
go.
Yeah, it says that it's the signed edition.
And both are in stores this Wednesday. So, Robbie, did you buy any?
No, I didn't. I mean, for me personally, no, I did
For
not.
the store. For the store.
For the store, yeah, we had a couple people special order it, and I think we got at least volume 1 for the shelf. We usually stock we always stock the paperback ones, and they sell so quickly, so it's definitely something we want to check out, try.
Nice. So everybody, this Wednesday in your local comic store, or the Kickstarter right now, or dynamite.com right now.
Did you also want to mention that these are here, like we did in the thing? This would be like
They are here. Oh,
this
by
is
the
quick
way,
turnaround time.
and to Butcher Chagrin, this message brought to you by Vought.
That was John's idea, by the way.
It was.
It was my idea. I tell
That was a
people
good
all
one.
the time, go to this, like if you're following the boys on social media to get the updates or whatever, they also run the Vought International account, and the whole thing is tweeted exactly like the show, like it's for real, like the news. They had a thing. We had to pass, we want to say thanks to Stan Edgar, who we're separating from her. It looks exactly like the kind of things you'd see, like when a
Right.
corporation, the guy steps down or whatever.
Ronald, I hope that answers your question. And everybody, please consider picking them up. The show is great, but it will be great to see. If you have not read what goes into the show, it'll be great to see this. Yeah, Mother's Milk is knocking the door
I've
down.
considered picking one up as soon as you leave the room, sir.
Just
Hey,
one. It's
we
heavy.
have 2 left. We have 2 left. Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to sneak this one.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one at a time.
I need to get 2 kids to help me lift this thing out.
You have to come in and out like 6
I
times.
mean, the boys are just, it's almost like you don't have to really say too much. It's one of these things where if you know, right? These are sort of been in the works for a while. I'm super excited that they're out here. They look amazing.
So
there's
either way, whether you want a signed or unsigned,
Unsigned,
both are definitely available.
And one of the things to do is, you can kind of follow Dynamite on YouTube, and they always sort of have these announcements on social media, and they announce these Kickstarters, Indiegogo, whatever, like this is coming, that's coming.
Right.
The number of times I hear people say, "Oh, I didn't know," and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like me, if I like something, if I like mac and cheese, I follow mac and cheese accounts on social media, and I know. When like the mac and cheese championship cook-off is going to start.
Right.
And I think that's what people should do. I don't care what your preferred platform is. If you like whatever, the boys, there's a ton of both official and unofficial stuff out there to keep you in the loop.
So, Jay, if you get a chance throughout the show, Jay will throw up the link for the crowdfunder. If you're a boys fan, please support the crowdfunder. And these are all the versions, the signed and unsigned versions of the omnibus are available. And it literally carrying 6 of them almost broke my back.
What is it? He says 90 issues, right?
Yeah,
it's 90 issues.
Yeah, I mean there are 3 volumes, so it covers pretty much all of it. But
so I can turn in my other stuff for one
out.
of these.
Huh?
I can turn in my other trade paperbacks for these.
Does the final one have Dear Becky in it as well, or is it just the initial run? Do you know?
I think Becky is in this, but
I think so.
I'm not, because that's going to wind up being somebody's. I'm not going to touch it and page through it. But I mean, literally, that's
Well,
going to go.
you could just write us a check, after the show.
Just a check. You're in arrears on my appearance fees. I didn't want to mention it on the air, but
What? Did you send me an invoice? Did it end up in my junk mail folder?
I emailed it to you exactly like.
Well, now we know what happened. Okay.
You need to Photoshop an email bin, recycle bin with like 17,000 things sitting in the
Well,
carpet.
I did get an email from IT saying, "Hey, you got this junk email folder you need to clean out."
You need to purge that, man.
Who's this John guy that keeps emailing you?
Sign a restraint order.
Oh, very good. Thank you. I see it up on YouTube. Thank you, my friend. All right. So let's see.
Yeah, the Elvira Omnibus. One of the things I really love is
I need to get that Elvira one. I really do.
As sort of they've dragged out stuff from Vampirella in particular, the Warren era, the Harris era, the Elvira stuff. Eventually, the Chaos stuff will be, it's a little bit spotty. Chaos characters are very cool. If there was anything I wanted to see Dynamite do a little bit more, it was sort of horror, and the Chaos characters kind of fit that niche nicely. My guess would be at some point you'll see, the Age of Chaos or something like that, and it will be like a collection or reprint of the original stuff from 94, 96 through
Xerox copies of it too. So
Xerox. That's Robbie's word of the day. Let me see. That is correct. I'm reading where Rupenstein. That's correct. I know that Omar posted a video about it.
Yeah.
So that is true. We won't be able to bring it on the show until well after Center 24.
Xerox?
We'll explain that after the break.
It's like mimeograph, but
yeah,
better.
we can't bring any crowdfunder stuff on until well after the crowdfunder is ended. Everybody has gotten, that it supported the crowdfunder has gotten their copies of, whatever the crowdfunder is. Yeah. And then if there's any leftover inventory, eventually we can bring it onto the show. But that's a priority. And obviously, you can never get it exactly right, but we try to order exactly what the supporters have claimed on the crowdfunder. So
real
it's
quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. We're Rupenstein. I don't know if we misconveyed it, but no, the signed ones are available through comic retailers. And I think Omar may have said you can get either the Garth Ennis or the Derek Robertson sign through retailers, but the double signed was only on the Kickstarter or Indiegogo. That's not correct. You can get the double signature through your local retailer or through the Kickstarter and Indiegogo or on dynamite.com.
There you go.
Obviously, if you can, support your local retailer first. If that's not possible, we would love for you to support dynamite.com or the Kickstarter. And, the better we do on these, the more fun we can have, especially on the shows, bringing you great values, because these guys love what we do here. And John can't afford the pay cut, because if he gets a pay cut, that means he's paying me and not getting his free Green Hornet books. So
Lars, man, you're here. We got to go to a break, but stick with us, Lars, man, because I have Spider-Man stuff that I threw on there for you. Hopefully they're not ones that you have, but it is time for our second break. So we're going to go ahead and take that break, and we will be back in a couple minutes.
Thanks for tuning into The Experience. Help us out and hit subscribe over on YouTube and click the bell when you do. Need some help? Scan the QR code in the bottom corner. Who would win, Batman or Superman? It's the age-old debate, except it's so much more complicated than that. Nerd Killer Warfare every week on The Experience is your chance to debate other nerds in the questions we've all been asking for years, except we take those debates and turn them up to 11. Go to bit.ly/EXP casting or scan the QR code to be part of the show.
Comic Collectables is here for you every Wednesday with AR Comics for two very important reasons: to sell you rare, one-of-a-kind comics that you'll love, and to confuse AR with old man talk. You see, Rex and John are, how should I put this, ancient as the roots of the mountains. So every week, Rex and John fill in AR in yet another area of pop culture that he missed because he's too young, just didn't have the time, or just really doesn't care about. It's a real public service they provide. Come buy some super rare and unique comics, while old men explain long-dead sci-fi shows to a younger man making that confused puppy face. Every Wednesday from 6 to 8 Eastern with Rex, John, and AR Comics. Comic Collectables on The Experience. Comic culture and sales. You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
And we're back. So Stevie B has an interesting question. Food for thought. If Marvel Wolfman and George Perez got voted into the baseball's Hall of Fame, would they go in with a DC cap or a Marvel baseball cap? What about Len Wein? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Marv and George go DC because of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
So, yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I mean, they've had some great stuff for Marvel, but
and Len would go Marvel just because he created Wolverine, one of their most popular characters of all time. So, but all those creators did good, solid work for both companies. Like Marv Wolfman also co-created Blade, or created Blade, and then Len Wein, of course, was Swamp Thing with Bernie Wrightson. So, yeah. Plus, he was the editor of The Watchmen. Like, that's...
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
You can always find, like, the most seminal work, right? Like, I'm sure there are people that are hardcore, fans of something they did in Marvel, but, like, when you get to that, I co-created Swamp Thing. I did this, I did that. That's sort of, everything spins from that.
Right.
I mean, look at Crisis on Infinite Earths. Literally, how many things spun from that? Just characters and across different companies, too. DC now is the point where you can make the argument all they do is one crisis after another, quote unquote, right?
Well, if that's the case, they would be doing a crisis right now, John, which they are. So
I was going to say, wait, let me check my watch, but I'm pretty sure.
All right. So
it's crisis o'clock.
I promised Lars, man, that we had a couple of Spider-Man items. Not sure if he has them or not, but let's do the first one. Amazing Spider-Man 1.3, signed in silver by the legendary Alex Ross. Now, here's what's special. We have one available at $199.99. It is number 1 of 15 ever signed in silver by
I think
Alex
it's like
Ross.
liquid silver from his enchanted Twilight Zone pen that he uses to draw.
No, I do not. But thanks for asking. All right, so that is available for Spider-Man fans or Alex Ross fans, and $199.99. It is number 1 of only 15 signed, and it is signed in silver, and I love that color. Aunt May, Doc Ock. Is that Doc Ock in the background? No, it's not.
I think it's just an explosion in the background, isn't it?
You know what? That's his leg. I thought that looked like.
I love this cover.
He wants to move out of the city.
The cover's cool. It's got great composition and cool colors. But
right,
as much as I love this cover, look at Aunt May's face. If she's green, that could be the Goblin. Look at that. She's got like Green Goblin face. Look at that.
She's
I
just
didn't
a
see
nice
it that
old
way.
lady.
So
Yeah,
we now know that Norman Osborn just took an Aunt May mask and colored it green.
now you're talking like Scooby-Doo.
No wonder Spider-Man was always so frightened. Subconsciously, he didn't know what was going on.
Oh my God. All right, and it might be time for a recap soon, but you know what? Let's do a Dynamite book first. All right, so we have Jennifer Blood, Volume 2, Number 9, FOC Virgin cover by Jonathan Lau. Suggested retail $50, and we have one available tonight for $40. Very cool cover. I like the emotion that you get in this. The sense of motion is dope. The sense of motion. That's amazing.
And this isn't really like a spoiler as such. They've already talked about it over on Dynamite's YouTube page. There will be more Jennifer Blood.
Right.
And they just announced the Ninjettes is coming up. So that's really cool. Spinning out the world of Jennifer Blood. So I covered that on the wrap-up this last weekend.
I was going to say, I don't, like sometimes I've always got to be real careful because, and I've said this, when, people see finale, nothing's really ever a finale as such in Dynamite. Character always return, maybe new creative team, maybe new storyline. But, these characters, people get lost.
That's true for almost every publisher, unless they lose the license.
No, but I think when stuff gets canceled, you don't see it for a while. Like Marvel made the decision that this character doesn't sell. You're like sent to the island of misfit toys, man.
No slapstick books coming up from Marvel. You know what I'm saying? So, no ambush bug books coming from DC.
All right. So let's do a recap. John's favorite part of the show.
No, we've actually done books, so we probably need to do a recap. You should have done one earlier. Now it'll be a massive recap. It'll be Rex Cap.
I don't like it when John misses the show and comes back. Then he's got all this pent-up aggression. So we got Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles, suggested retail of $40 or more. We have it, as always, for $5. So you're getting 10 Dynamite random titles, 50 cents a copy. And then we had Wonder Woman number 0, signed in gold by Cliff Chang. Suggested retail of $89.99. And from the creator of Paper Girls, we have this one available for $50, and it is number 20 of only 20 signed, and it is signed in gold. Then we had J. Michael Straczynski's 10 grand number 1 DF exclusive J. Lee cover signed by J. Michael Straczynski. Suggested retail of $69.99. Signed in silver. It is number 7 of 115. Single digit number. And we have one available for $40. And then we did, for a large man special, Amazing Spider-Man number 1.3, signed in silver by legendary Alex Ross. We have one available, and it is number 1 of 15 ever signed, signed in silver. And we have one available for $199.99.
You know what I'm thinking about looking at this book? Alex Ross is known. Well, a lot of creators do this, but Alex Ross in particular always spotlights his live models. So now I'm wondering, is there actually someone that looks like this much like Aunt May / Green Goblin walking around?
Maybe it's Alex Ross.
It's Willem Dafoe.
That's great. Hi, this is Alex Ross. Can you come over? Of course, I'll be right there.
All right, so then we had Siege, Storming Asgard's Heroes and Villains, signed by Greg Land. Suggested retail of $49.99. We have, it is number 5 of only 75 signed. We have one available for $19.62. The year Thor first appeared in Journey into Mystery.
That's a great cover. That
It is a great cover.
really great cover.
So then we had, let's see. Okay, best offer book. Star Trek Green Lantern Spectrum War number 1 blank cover variant signed with a Spock sketch by Ken Hazer, suggested retail of $89.99. Preston is currently in the lead at $19.66.
I mean, the use of negative space. I don't know how much more you can say. I mean, literally, it's not like a black marker and he goes to work and this is what we got.
He's even got that judgmental expression.
Yep.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it, before on the show about him being colorblind, and I think that's why he's so great at the use of negative space in the shitty game. And because he depends on that, almost predominantly.
And this was a fun read too. They've done Star Trek Green Lantern, I think, twice. It's just a fun read. I'm not going to sit here and say, it goes in like some kind of Vought Hall of Fame, Mount Rushmore type thing. But if you're a Star Trek fan and or a Green Lantern fan, it's just a fun read.
So then we did Gunslinger Spawn number 1, CGC graded 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $69.99.
Nice.
And as Robbie said, he's seen it going for a lot more in the open market. So this is a deal. It is already graded. It is guaranteed 9.8, and it will be at your house within days as opposed to months and months and months. As Ron has personally experienced.
Well, I'm really looking forward to Ron getting back his.
I want to see.
I'm looking forward to when he gets his metal covers back from CGC.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see how that.
Because that brought up the conversation here about slabbing metal books and.
Right. So then we had Jennifer Blood, Volume 2, Number 9, Virgin cover by Jonathan Lau. Suggested retail of $50, and we have one available for $40.
Jonathan Lau's done a ton of stuff here. I mean, he's one of the better Green Hornet artists.
I forgot one.
Oh, did you? All right,
I did. Secret Wars number 1, Dynamic Forces edition, signed by original and classic artist Mike Zeck. Suggested retail of $49.99. It is also a best offer book, and Creative Keep is also, I believe, Creative Keep is in the lead on that one for $19.84.
So you know what covers like this remind me of? They remind me of the kind of promo materials that Marvel did in the 70s and 80s.
Right.
Like people would, before everything became super collectible, I remember going to cons and they would let you take the posters. You know what I mean? It was really just like a few hundred nerds running around, this and that. Everybody was at like a little folding table or whatever, and they just let you take everything. It was like less they had to clean up. Imagine you're at a con now, like in San Diego, and you want that massive 75-foot high silk tapestry Legion of Superheroes Alex Ross thing.
You can't even make an offer on
You're
that.
tugging on that.
Yeah, they're packing that up and taking that back to the company.
I can't even imagine what it costs to print that, because I look for it. It's one of those things when I get to, I look and I sort of use that, people know to find me there, and I was like, we talked about it one day. We were sitting there waiting for another person to join us and texting during the year or whatever. And we're like, what do you think this costs to produce? I mean, I know large format digital printing is cheap to begin with, but I don't know if it's 75 feet. But this thing is massive.
Well, generally, what ends up.
Lars man off.
All right, you got it, Lars, man. Hold on, buddy.
And if anybody's in the printing industry and they have any insight, throw it in the
Actually,
comments.
I do, because I used to do a lot of conventions.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So, basically, usually what ends up happening is you go to a company that deals in convention booths. So, depending on whether you're getting an aisle or whatever, they generally will be responsible for the graphics as well. Okay, because they're tied in with somebody, because depending on how your booth looks, wherever that happens to be, maybe a certain corner or a certain side. So usually the company that provides the booth will also have somebody in place to provide the graphics, because you're not just selling a booth and then, okay, here you go. Now it's your problem.
It's just handle. It's like a fully
It's like, you can't even get the thing in your car. So usually it'll come complete. There's obviously a charge to that, but
I might be misremembering, but in Dragon Con 2019, somebody mentioned that it's not 75 feet high long, but somebody said this thing is like 33 feet long, and I think 6 feet wide. And if you've been to cons, especially big cons, you sort of, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You've gone to, they always set, if Alex Ross is there, they set up the Alex Ross Gallery. You know what I mean? And they have like his original stuff or whatever, and then they have like regular books that you can get.
So Sinner 24, let me answer that question. Unfortunately, when the AC snaps on in this room, there's a little white noise. So I'm going to turn the temperature up during the next break a little bit. So maybe it'll snap on a little less. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. It's right under me.
It's summertime.
I was going to be like, John's not going to be here for the last 30 minutes then.
Poor Kyle standing over a grill at 108 degrees, and you're complaining because it might be 2 degrees higher.
You know what? For the amount of money he got paid, okay. I used to get paid to do that too.
Stevie B, you're right. The rib shoot will make the next recap.
Yeah,
Mark. There it is. There.
Oh, look.
Now, what is it resting under?
Usually, there's only one or two things. It's usually lettuce. Sometimes. Thank you.
Okay.
They'll usually
kale, parsley, or head lettuce.
Thank you.
Gotcha. Okay. So, Mark, you just jumped in. Thanks for joining us. Which stray dogs are you looking at? The Stray Dogs signed by Tony Fleets, unfortunately, has already been. Actually, I'm sorry. Both Stray Dog items have been claimed by Creative Key.
Okay, I didn't realize both were on already, but
they are. So I apologize, my friend. I will tell you that the one on the front row is Stray Dogs #1 blank variant signed by Ken Hazer with a horror movie homage sketch, but unfortunately it has already been claimed. But if you are a fan of Stray Dogs, we do have other items that we can bring on the show next Wednesday. Just tune in, and I'll put something Stray Dogs on here.
I really love the Red Sonja Stray Dogs we had.
Oh yeah,
that was cool. It almost made it look like they were her sled dogs or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I should probably try to
look
for more stuff.
It was real neat.
All right, so this one, when you throw out numbers, they aren't clear. Like when you said 90, I got you. Okay, Center. I'll try to be clear, but right now the AC has snapped off, so hopefully we're coming across the audio is a little bit better. So let me see. All right, this is for Lars Man. Okay, so we have Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4, #1, Dynamic Forces exclusive cover by Greg Land, CGC graded 9.8, suggested retail of $99.99. We have one available for $62 for 1962. All right, and we've talked about this numerous times on the show. The wait time on submissions at CGC and CBCF is just grown out to be, literally months. If it's months, you're lucky.
I think we're getting audio bleeding in from somewhere.
Oh, okay, you got it, Lars, man. I got you, buddy. Okay, stop tapping the microphone.
It sounded like somebody was watching TV or something. I don't know if I'm just saying maybe in the producer's room or something.
You might be.
I'll tell you right now, if my name was in the credits, it would be on nonstop. My wife would have to buy another TV. It would just be on over and over again. Oh, look, there I am. Oh, look, there I am.
Oh, sometimes I wonder, John.
If you ever saw the it was an HBO special, we got it on disc. Kevin Smith's 37th birthday from the Count Basie Theater. I stopped counting after a while. Me and my friend are in that 20, 25, 30 times, and we just left it on. And my wife was like, "I'm not even laughing anymore. It's not funny." She didn't mean us. She meant Kevin Smith. Like we burned her out for Clerks. She can't watch it anymore. I'm like, "Oh look, there we are again."
Oh, that poor woman. I feel for her. I really do. All right, so let's do another Dynamite. Let's do a Dynamite metal.
Sweet.
All right, so we have Jennifer Blood, number 6, premium metal virgin cover by Joseph Michael Linsner. Suggested retail is $100, and we have one only available at a blockbuster price of $60 tonight.
Wow.
Nice. I bet that pops in metal, man.
It does, and you can see my phone there in the reflection. So just so everybody understands, this is not a foil comic. It is actual metal. It is an aluminum alloy. The thing is hard. I mean, to the touch, it's stiff. We actually put a disclaimer on the bags that we send these to distributors that the corners may be sharp.
Yeah.
So, but it actually, you get the reflection on the covers, and it's just phenomenal. It's been real popular with Dynamite fans too. And actually, when we bring them on, usually the fans here, our viewers here,
these don't last too long. Well. So, if you think
definitely.
you might want this, these seem to be real popular. He was on Facebook one day talking about he loves the way his stuff looks on metal. Initially he was one of those people that was maybe a little bit skeptical. He, like a lot of us olds, remember the foil covers in the 90s, and they were of limited, some artists thought it made their work look not quite as good. When he started seeing what his work looked like on these premium metal covers, he was like, I'm real happy with that. All
right, so the sound was Kyle. He's working on a new set of spots. I try everything not to get that reflection, but there's just no way to do it.
You use like an old school scanner. I don't even know if we have old school scanners here anymore. You know what I mean?
I tried scanning them, but what ends up happening is it comes out real dark.
Oh, yeah, good.
So I figure at least you can see my phone. At least that shows you the reflective nature of it. Other than that, I mean, it's not like we have a high tech studio where we're shooting like Obi-Wan or something. Ooh, Ron, you know what? I don't know. I hadn't actually thought of it. I don't know if Nick has thought of it.
Maybe he'll listen to Ron, because I asked the publisher about this a long time ago and I didn't get an answer.
You know what? We're probably going to have to test. I'm almost thinking it has to be in Sharpie, and I'm not sure if the Sharpie will take to the metal. It'll never actually dry in that sense, so it's in danger of smearing.
Sheet metal people use Sharpies when they, like that metal fabricators, they use a Sharpie.
Yeah, but only to indicate,
I was going to say, I don't know, because they're cutting, so they don't care.
If it gets smeared,
if it's smeared, they don't care.
Right. So, you know what? We may take a metal cover here and test it out. You want to come for that? We'll have a party.
I'm almost wondering if, because it's metal, and I have to look about this a little bit.
Paint pens, okay. That might work because the paint pen would actually dry. An engraving pen.
I'm thinking of an engraving pen. Like, remember, I mean, again, the youngs aren't going to remember this, but there used to be everything engraved at the mall. And you could bring stuff in the back of a wristwatch, and you'd get, love whoever, happy anniversary, congratulations. And I'm wondering if you took an engraving pen. I remember they had 3 or 4 different tips. And if you took the gentlest tip and you sort of had someone, the problem is they'll have to practice on sheet metal first, or sheet aluminum.
All right, so Sinner says you can use an acrylic.
Oh, cool.
That's true. That makes sense. Yes, because the acrylic paint would immediately turn into that rubbery kind of once it dries.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a good point.
So it sticks to the metal and would not spear. Actually, that's an excellent suggestion, Sinner 24. Wow. And Ron, thank you. I hadn't thought of it. I guess John has, but maybe he sent me an email, but we all know where John's emails go. That's why he texts me now, because I don't know how to send text to a junkie folder. So thank you for the suggestion, guys. Maybe we will be doing that.
I remember I had a watch engraved. Oh, this is some time ago, but I remember I had a watch engraved for my mom. And it was like a vintage old watch even back then, right? and they explained to me that they were going to have to use like a different sort of, like back in the day when you get married, everybody you get metal beer mugs, and it would have your name on it or whatever, or the day.
Right. Actually, Disney was a they did that.
Disney was
I remember
using
getting
for
my
that.
dad one.
But when you did more delicate stuff, they would have more delicate, I guess maybe heads or needles. I'm not quite sure what the deal was. So I'm wondering, especially that would be cool for someone with a very distinct signature.
So Stevie B, I've always heard that branding irons work better on flesh, not metal.
And food.
I've heard the same thing.
Yeah. Thank you, Robbie. So Robbie, what is the movie of tonight on your show?
The movie tonight, we're in Crew's Choice, and so my buddy Mike, it was his pick this week, and he picked an A24 film from 2019 that I had never even heard of. It's called Saint Maud, and it's about this very lonely, isolated woman who has a tragedy happen in her life, and she turns to Christianity, to religion, but she doesn't join a church or anything. So she's already has mental problems, and she's starting to interpret things into her own way, and she gets obsessed because she's a live-in nurse, and she gets obsessed with saving this woman's soul, and it gets pretty crazy. So I really, really liked it. It's a little bit of a slow movie, but it's kind of quick. And to me, it packs a punch at the end. So I'm excited to talk about it. Saint Maud. I was very surprised by that one.
So check out Robbie's channel. Thank you, Jay, for throwing the link up. Check out his YouTube channel. And the show is 9 p.m. Eastern time, correct?
That is right.
Oh, that is right. And speaking of A24, they did Midsummer a couple of years ago, which was kind of weirdly creepy and bizarre. And then I guess they have X coming out real soon, which they're advertising the heck out of on Amazon. I guess the deal is it's the 70s and a bunch of kids are going to a farm to
shoot an adult film.
And
I love X. I love X. That's my favorite. That's my favorite movie of the year so far. I watched it in theaters twice, and then when it came out on digital, I watched it, and I got my Blu-ray on the way this week, actually, because it got lost in the mail and they had to resend it. But I love X. It's fantastic. That movie is wild.
They also did a weird movie about, maybe it was, no, I'm confused. Wait, there was a Marvel comic called, I think, Ex Machina, and I think they did a movie, Ex Machina, as well, where it's sort of like a robot kind of.
Yeah, that's the Oscar Isaac film. They did that. And then, there's Brian K. Vaughan did a Vertigo book called Ex Machina as well.
Thank you. I'm kind of.
But they're totally different. So
they're different, but the name was the same, and that's sort of where I was like, A24 has done some really cool stuff. There's 3 or 4 companies right now that I see their name, and just the name makes me say, okay, because let's be honest, I love horror. There's a massive amount of horror out there. It's very hard to get through, especially someone like me. Not only do I have all the normal stuff, but I have Shudder. So, I'm constantly getting recommendations. Watch this. So I've sort of had to pick through a little bit by production. If I see Blumhouse, but I think if everybody sees Blumhouse, they know you're probably good. But I noticed of 3 movies, and then I'm like, oh, so he's A24. Okay. So now I've added them to that list of whatever they do, I'm going to go find them.
Yeah, pay attention because they do some really good stuff. They basically do art house fantasy and horror films. Yeah. My favorite movie last year was The Green Knight. I loved The Green Knight.
Did they do The Green Knight too?
Yep, they're the ones that did The Green Knight. So they really, in Hereditary, Midsummer, The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Norseman, really good stuff. And Saint Maud is not related to the B. Arthur sitcom, but that's an interesting correlation there.
So where Rubenstein agrees with you, he thinks X was good as well. But what was I going to say here? Let's see. Oh, when we come back, we're going to do the drawing. All right. I got to figure out what we're going to give away now.
Oh, and the last thing they did, right? You just watched it. Was great. Well, is
everything?
I think they did everything, everywhere at once, right?
All at once. Yeah, they did that too. Which is a lot of people's movie of the year. It's my number 2 right now. It's that movie was fantastic. I loved it.
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I do want to watch
it's
it. That's
really
with Michelle Yeoh, right?
It's that, but
I think you'll really like it, Rex. I really do.
This is something.
Everybody's told a friend of mine also watched it and said
this is something that flies in a little bit in the face of the thinking that everything has to be franchised. Everything has to be Marvel. Everything has to be Star Wars. You know what I mean? This sort of flies in the face of that a little bit because you haven't seen these characters before. It literally starts as a movie. You know, like a woman who's having a very strange day. I think I saw somebody summarize that movie that way.
What's funny is that I did read an article that Michelle Yeoh was busting on Jackie Chan for not considering taking a role in that movie.
Yeah, because it was initially offered to him or something, I heard. I actually just watched a Michelle Yeoh film this weekend for the first time, Tai Chi Master with Jet Li.
Yes.
Michelle Yeoh from like 93. That was a pretty solid movie. I liked it a lot.
It is. Jet Li, Michelle Yeoh, Jackie Chan, they were all together in that period where, you know, they were turning them out, these Hong Kong films. And John Woo, you know, it changed from the kind of, you know, crappy sort of movies into ones with, you know, real screenplays, real depth, and you know, that's when Michelle Yeoh became huge, along with Jackie Chan and Jet Li, and you know, and during that era, and then a lot of them started to come across the Pacific to you know, the U.S. and Canada. So, all right, so we got to take our last and final break, and I got to figure out what we're going to do on the giveaway for the drawing with Robbie. All right, so stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there, hi there, hello there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody. It's Fat Jack's Comic Crib. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out.
There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I am your host, Henry Kumpa. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Game Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody! Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey!
What's up?
Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectables.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. Is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box? What's in the Box?
Comic culture and sales.
So believe it or not, the Ron suggestion was awesome. Sinner, you know, with his advice, John and I actually during the break were talking about how to make an engraving on the metal covers work. So
yeah, this has become a thing. So was it Ron was the first person that asked?
Ron asked,
Ron, good on you, man. That's kind of kicked something off here. I'll shoot Nick an email.
We're actually brainstorming.
Yeah,
now, as much as John and I can brainstorm.
Well, a buddy of mine, his wife does all this weird like craft work, carving, engraving, whatever, blah blah blah. So I texted him. I said, "Have her get at me because I got questions about."
Right.
You know, she does put like like she'll engrave certain things, like somebody will win a trophy and she'll put like a nice thing. But this is different. This is like, in order for it to be signed, we have to see, like for Ryan Stegman that we're trying to book, he's got to be able to do the Stegosaurus.
Right. And because I got to imagine that trying to engrave something on metal is not the same as signing your name on a piece of paper.
I'm also
or a
wondering
comic
if it could be like a digital thing, right? Where we take a digital image of the author's signature, whoever on the artist's signature, and then we shrink it down, and then somehow it gets like laser printed onto that or something. Yeah, Ron, you opened up like a whole can.
You definitely did. So we're
there's-
actually brainstorming as much as John and I can be involved in the same sentence with the word brain. But
2 bodies, 1 brain.
Hey, whatever works. That's what they say. Great minds think alike because they're using the same brain. All right.
Michelle Yeoh, somebody pointed out she was Bond girl.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Her Captain Giorgio character was good. The Mirror Universe Giorgio was a million times better.
Oh my goodness, she's awesome as Dark Mirror Giorgio. I love that.
The Giorgio character's good. I mean, she's a great captain for Starfleet or whatever. Man, when they sort of decided to like rip off the mask there, and she's like a Mirror Universe Giorgio.
Yes. So Dave mentioned a name, Sammo Hung, who also was part of that era with Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh, I think, was a ballet dancer originally before she started her acting career. Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, they went to these Peking opera schools, and that's why they could do all this martial arts, because there was so much that was involved in that. And I got to tell you, I visited one years ago when I traveled to China with my father. And man, they take them when they're 6, and they're getting beat by bamboo rods, and that's why they can do it so well. You didn't do it right, then you got beat.
And of course, Jackie Chan's career started a bit earlier, right? Because I've seen Jackie Chan stuff from the 70s, like Drunken Master and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And it's good and everything, but I just want to say the GOAT to me in Hong Kong cinema is Gordon Liu, like 100%, and the Venoms. I think the Venoms are the coolest dudes out there. Like, they are amazing. Like Five Deadly Venoms, Invincible Shaolin. What's that?
I said Gordon Liu is in Kill Bill.
He is, yeah.
And I love that. When I saw that was when you really knew. Like, you never knew. Like, Quentin Tarantino said he likes Hong Kong cinema, but you don't realize how much he likes it until Gordon Liu rolls into the movie. You're like, oh, he really does. Okay.
So Ron says, take markers for metal. There's no need to overthink this.
36 Chamber of Shaolin is probably my favorite out of everything. Like, I just love that movie so much. The sound design, the way I love training sequences, and that whole movie is just training sequences, right? But I just recently watched 8 Diagram Pole Fighter with Gordon Liu. What a performance from him in that film. That movie was awesome. Sorry. I derailed us. I'm sorry.
No, we gotta ditch the comic thing because it sounds like Hong Kong cinema has way more legs.
Yeah, maybe we should do that. So 62 Lefty, I don't believe that's correct. I may be wrong, but Jackie Chan was in one of Bruce Lee's movies, which when it came to the United States, it was called Chinese Connection.
Yeah, that's the Big Boss, right? That's Big Boss, I think. Yeah.
Yes. In Hong Kong, it was called, I think it was called The Big Boss. No. Big Boss was Fist of Fury.
Okay.
Yeah, isn't that Fist of Fury?
So Chinese Connection, I forget what they called it in Hong Kong, but I remember seeing an interview with Jackie Chan in Chinese. He was when Bruce Lee fights the Japanese
Fist of Fury, bro. We should have known that. Fist of Fury.
Yeah. So when Bruce Lee fights the Japanese warlord or whatever and kicks him out of his house, right through the doors and everything. Okay, that one scene, that guy flying through the doors, that was Jackie Chan.
Oh, cool.
He was he was an unknown stuntman at the time, and he was the one that flew right through those doors. It was so funny listening to him tell the story and reliving that experience. But yes, Marcus, you're absolutely right. Jackie was a straight
All
up
this Bruce Lee conversation, I sure hope there's a Cato book up here to sell. That'd be a cool segue.
Unfortunately, no. I should have had one when you were here.
That's what we should have. As much as I love the Green Hornet, that Cato series, solo series was amazing. There were 2 of them. We should try to find that and have it on the show. That was really cool.
62 Lefty, I will absolutely. All right, so let's get to another book real quick. Batman number 50, CSA Bloody Knife, Jokerized Virgin exclusive, signed by Tom King and Clayman. So a dual signed book. The Clayman signature is in silver, and the Tom King signature is in black. Suggested retail of $69.99, and we have one available for $50 tonight.
This Joker looks amazingly crazy. I love that. Look at the eyes. Oh my goodness.
Why would you not send purple metal pens for these guys to sign this?
Hey, that's not my department, pal. All right? These were signed way back.
Do I need to send an email to the publisher?
Go ahead.
You need to.
Don't bother sending it to me, and I'll just send up in that junk folder.
Nick actually reads my emails.
I just need to.
Before he deletes them.
Yeah, I haven't deleted your emails.
I know, right?
As IT has informed me, like, you need to do something about this, okay?
We're not renting more cloud space for your chat.
You're using up the server space, okay?
Oh
we need that for,
God.
like, accounting stuff. I'm like, oh,
That's
sorry.
too funny.
So this one is available tonight for 5-star at $50, and we have one available at that price. So then let's do another book, and then we'll go ahead.
Do we do all the slaps?
Huh?
Did we do all the slaps?
Look, I don't know.
I know we did at least 2 of them. And 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
You know what? We have a big one. Let's do that one. All right. So, because at some point Jay threw up the links again for the crowdfunder. The Boys Omnibus Volume 1, 2, and 3, both signed and unsigned. You can get them at the crowdfunder. You can get them on the Dynamite website, but you can also get them at your local retailers, your local comic book shops. So as always, we suggest that if they do have them and you want them, support your LCS first. But if they don't, you can either back the crowdfunder or they will be available on Dynamite site as well. All right. So we have, and we brought this out because I happen to notice the price has been going up. So we usually give you the suggested retail price that we have it on the Dynamic Forces website. But in this instance, I thought I'd let everybody know. The Boys number 3 Virgin cover, CGC graded 9.8. I saw it on eBay, and that's why I grabbed another one. It is this one site on eBay had it for $399.99, and I know we had it a few weeks back, and it had not reached that astronomical point yet.
Well, this is a good point to mention real quick when we talk about this. If there's a book you want. And I guess the term that the stock guys use is buy the dip, right? Mm-hmm. So we've got 2 seasons of the Boys. The time to buy the Boys stuff is between the seasons.
Right.
Like right now, this thing is, I mean, you watch a trend on social media or whatever, so you see those prices. This past weekend, one of the things I did, a buddy of mine do this about once a year, we bomb into the Secret Stash in Red Bank. And I kind of get a chance to see. That's almost as much, and I don't mean any disrespect to them, but it's as much a tourist destination as a real comic book store, right? I mean, it's a real comic book store, but, let's be honest. Right. People are going because of the show or whatever, and those prices are about as high as you'll see in an LCS before you start going to a show.
So on eBay, you'll find this 9.8 for $399.99. Tonight we have one available for $206 to commemorate 2006, the year that Dynamite acquired the Boys, and we have one available at this price. Dwayne's a Pain. It's the first Homelander and Starlight. And the rest of the 7. You are correct. So that is available tonight for $206 for anybody that any Boys fans out there that would be interested. All right. So then, we had another neat one that we haven't gotten to, so we'll get to that one as well. And then we'll do the drawing with Robbie, and then we'll do a recap. So we have John Wick number 2 photo cover signed by Greg Pak. Man, can't wait for the John Wick movie either. We have one available for $49.99. And, Greg Pak's signature is rare and difficult to get these days. That is for sure. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I love photo covers.
You know how much I love John Wick. I actually just watched all 3 of these movies for the first time last year.
Really?
And I was like, where have I been? Like, holy cow! I love these movies. I don't think there's an action franchise recently that's gone 3 movies that touches it, except for maybe those last 3 Mission Impossible films. I think those are.
You know what's funny is
Yeah, I'd say that's about right. I mean, when you look at the start to finish the movie,
Right.
you know, each one, there's only a couple franchises that are like that.
I happened to watch it. I don't know where it was, streaming somewhere, and I hadn't really heard of the movie. There wasn't a lot of buzz, you know, when it first came out. The first John Wick movie, I don't feel like. Not initially. They didn't do
it was one of those things that just sort of, I don't want to say sailed under the radar,
Yeah.
but it's a little bit like Hotel Artemis, which is even more under the radar because it doesn't have Keanu Reeves, right? People, they've never even heard of Hotel Artemis. And then they watch it and they're like, oh my God, this thing's amazing. It's very John Wick. It's John Wick-ish, I'll put it that way.
So, Brian, me too. I can't wait for the next John Wick. Thanks for joining us. I remember I just happened to watch it. It was Keanu Reeves, so you know I'm a Keanu Reeves fan. So I said, yeah, I'll watch it. Let's see what happens. All right, and I absolutely loved it. It was great, you know. And then the second one and the third one, and I mean, I fell in love with the movie. So, the comic again, a great read, signed by Greg Pak, photo cover obviously with Keanu Reeves on the cover, and it is available tonight for $49.99. All right, then we have The Walking Dead, number 147, Ultra Limited Edition, Blood Red Signature by Stefano Guadiano. Suggested retail of $59.99, and we have one available for $19.92. And we'll give, there you go. Thank you, Jay. All right, so that is available, and it is signed in red. It is number 2 of 25 signed.
Oh, nice low number. Very cool.
Nice. Good price, too. Representing the year that Image was first started, which was 30 years ago, to make us all feel a little bit older.
You know, those 30 years blew by in a blink of an eye.
Especially me and John feel much older. All right, should we do the drawing for the Robbie contest?
Absolutely.
All right.
Love
So, can you do your Vanna White thing? Do you mind?
I absolutely can. Well, not with this one. I'm keeping this one, but
send me an email.
I hope
All
you
right,
guys
so
will be able
the
to get it.
giveaway. All right, so everybody understands. So I'm on Robbie's show every Friday at noon,
Yeah, he
and then
hates
Robbie
that.
is obviously here with us, me and John from 6 to 8. So if you enter anything in the chats tonight, we'll have the drawing on Friday on Robbie's show. So what we're drawing tonight is anybody that entered the chats on Friday's show, on Robbie's show, and we're going to draw the winner right now.
Yes, we gathered on Friday for the Rex and Robbie show, and we were talking about Tim Sale, who we tragically lost this last week. And so we were reflecting on his career and some of our favorite works of his and all that kind of jazz. So let's hit the button. It's spinning. By the way, that's a dope cover. I love those Ken Hazer Team and T homages.
Yeah.
And I love the Barbarelli one with all the aliens. All right, the winner is Rogue Collecting, who said R.I.P. Tim Sale, another legend lost. What a bummer. Rogue Collecting. I believe that's first time winner. I'll reach out to him, get his address for y'all.
I'm going to put this up here real quick.
All right,
to look
I'm
at
sorry.
the
Who was the
lovely
winner,
work.
Robbie? I missed that.
Rogue Collecting.
Rogue Collecting.
I don't know if the video lets you see that, but I love the little ray gun.
Yeah.
That's just like a cool little.
All right.
They all have that cool little detail, right? Because the turtles had the sword up there, right?
Turtles have the sword up there, so essentially everything. Army of Darkness has the chainsaw.
All right, I want to answer Sinner 24's question. All right, Sinner. Basically, to claim Trade Paper Dad, what's going on? If you want to claim anything on the show, we have 2 types of claim offers. We'll have a buy it now, so we'll throw up a price, and the first person to claim it in the chats walks away with it. Then we have best offers at the end of the evening, and we will put up an end line at $7.55, so about 9 minutes left, and we'll throw out a starting price. And then whoever has the highest claim at $7.55 will walk away with that item. So I'm going to go ahead for our newer viewers or those that have not put claims forth. I'm going to do the best offer book. So there's about 9 minutes left for you to get your offers in, and you just throw it up in the chat. Secret Wars #1 Dynamic Forces Edition, signed by original and classic artist Mike Zeck. Suggested retail of $49.99. Lars Mann is currently in the lead at $24. Then we had Star Trek Green Lantern, the Spectrum War #1, blank cover variant, signed with a Spock sketch on the cover by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. Preston is currently in the lead on that one for $19.66. Excuse me. So now we will go through. All right, and keep in mind at 7:55, JR producer will throw up an end line. He may throw a clock up 5 minutes, a couple minutes out, and then at 7:55 he'll throw up an end line, and then whoever has the highest claim on the best offer books will be the winner. All right. So for the full recap, we have we started with a Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, suggested retail of $40, a $3.99 cover price or higher. We have it for $5 as a thank you to our viewers, so 50 cents a copy, and it will be 10 random Dynamite titles. Then we had Wonder Woman #0, signed in gold by Cliff Chang, suggested retail of $89.99. It is number 20 of 20, signed in gold, and we have one available for $50. Then we had J. Michael Straczynski's 10 grand #1 Dynamic Forces exclusive J. Lee cover, signed by J. Michael Straczynski. Suggested retail of $69.99. We have one available, number 7 of 115, signed in silver, for $40. And then we had Amazing Spider-Man number 1.3, signed in silver by Alex Ross. We have one. It is number 1 of 15 signed in silver, and we have one available for $199.99. Alex Ross signatures are just getting increasingly difficult to get. Then we had Siege Storming Asgard Heroes and Villains, signed by Greg Land, suggested retail of $49.99. We have one available for $19.62. It is number 5 of 75 signed. Then we had Batman number 50, CSA Bloody Knife Jokerized Virgin exclusive cover, signed by Tom King and Clay Mann. Suggested retail of $69.99. We have this Virgin cover available for $50. And then we just had the John Wick number 2 photo cover, signed by Greg Pak, and we have one available for $49.99. Then we had The Walking Dead number 147, Ultra Limited Blood Red Signature Edition, signed by Stefano Guadiano. Suggested retail of $59.99. It is number 2 of 25 signed, and we have it available for $19.92. All right, and then we had The Boys number 3, Virgin cover, CGC graded 9.8. It is currently on eBay for $399.99, and that is a high price that we found on eBay. And we have it tonight for $206 to commemorate 2006, the year that Dynamite acquired The Boys. And then we had Gunslinger Spawn number 1, CGC graded 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $69.99.
Does that come with the reflection of you, by the way? The Gunslinger Spawn?
Yeah, that's me. Crappy lighting. Then we had Jennifer Blood, Volume 2, number 9, FOC Virgin cover by Jonathan Lau. Suggested retail of $50, and we have one available for $40. All right, and then we did Jennifer Blood number 6, premium metal cover, Virgin cover by Joseph Michael Lenzner. Suggested retail of $100, and we have one available for $60. All right, and then we have one more book. Let's do that. It is Vampirella Dracula Unholy number 3, premium metal cover by Jimmy Broxton. Suggested retail of $100, and we have one available for $60. I wanted to get that on there because I love this cover.
Like that old school trade dress look.
So good. I'm gonna like this cover because this is so cool on the phone. I know there's no way to avoid it, but
thanks for saying hi, Josh Went. See how great my picture is?
Yeah, pictures don't do any justice of this because you see the sheen when you move it around, you see it the best, man. Like I love that.
Yeah, I mean this is just
I'm gonna have to get me one of these metal covers. I'm gonna have to figure out the right one to get.
Oh, I'll get you one, no problem. John, keep your fingerprints off the metal cover.
Sorry.
So those are. So that was the.
I take a crochet needle and put an engravement on there. Too rough.
Ron just put us in our place. He said, "Hey, they make markers that you can write on metal, so don't overthink it."
Yeah, and then when he tries to get that slab and it melts, they got a lawsuit.
All right, creative. The best offers: Secret Wars #1 Dynamic Forces suggested retail of $49.99. Lars Man is in the lead at $24, and then the Star Trek Green Lantern Spectrum War #1 with a blank cover variant signed with a Spock sketch by Ken Hazer. Preston is in the lead at $19.66. So there were only 2 best offer books tonight. Creative keep. All right, Creative is going to go $30 on the Secret Wars. You got it, buddy. I got you down. Sinner24, he's fishing for a free copy. He's fishing for a free copy, dude, like it's an episode of Deadliest Catch.
I would just ask you. I'd just be like, hey, man, send me a metal cover. That's what I would do.
I would do it because it's Robbie.
Oh, shucks.
See?
Y'all treat me too good.
All right, Creative. I got you, Creative Keep. Now, if a taco truck showed up, I could do away with that junk folder.
I just ask Nick now. I tell him I'm closer to the end than the beginning. You know what would make it all worthwhile? A metal cover.
You're really gonna play the sympathy card?
I'm in poor health.
Your voice went up like 5 octaves. Okay,
It actually hurt when I did that. That's not easy to do.
Oh my gosh. All right, so let's see. Yes, Trade Paper Dad. So I will put you down for the Walking Dead book. And what you have to do is fill out a submission form, which there's one right above you. There it is.
Nice.
Okay, because that's very important because it gives us your ship to address, and we'll invoice you once you fill out that submission form tomorrow. So we'll get it shipped out to you right away. But yes, please make sure you fill out the submission form. Otherwise, we don't know where to send it, my friend. All right. All right, so Stevie B does all the cooking in his house because I've seen this kind of message before. Go get your broccoli, Stevie B. Preston, I'm going to leave this one to John. Preston has a question for you.
So when do we get the Kato series? I'm going to assume you've read the prior 2 Kato solo series. If not, go to Dynamite Comics or Dynamic Forces and snag those. I'm pretty sure they're up there. Honestly, I don't think there's going to be, let's put it this way, I don't think there's going to be another Kato series in 2022 from Dynamite. I kind of know to a certain extent what's kind of coming for the rest of the year. Ideally, I'll tell you what, and I talked about this on another show, I think with these sort of WB or CW series where they kind of take the sidekick type characters and give them their own shows, they might have trouble doing a Green Hornet show. I think a Kato show would be exceptional, especially if it was animated.
Right.
Kato is a character that has never really had this more than the surface scratched, other than, at Dynamite Comics. And I think live action, we haven't seen much of anything. And I think if you find the right actor to be Kato, maybe just a slightly older Kato who's sort of parted ways with the Green Hornet for any number of reasons.
Right.
I think that's the making of a great live action. And honestly, I think that's a little bit the direction the creators went in with the Kato solo series.
Right.
Not age-wise, but sometimes you got to do stuff on your own. You just can't drive your friend around all day because
So Ron has become the ambassador of our show. Thank you for welcoming Trade Paper Dad. Trade Paper Dad, thank you for joining us. We're here every Monday with Rockin, Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers. We're here on Wednesday, same time, 6 to 8 Eastern, with AR Comics, our buddy Alec. And then Nick is here Fridays from 7 to 8 Eastern times. Again, all times are Eastern because we live in an Eastern time zone. And he has an original art show. And if you're an original art collector, even if you're not, if you're just a comic and art fan in general, it is a great show to watch. You get to see the original art.
Nick has really cool stories too.
He does. A lot of the stuff that you see on the show comes from Nick's personal collection.
Actually, real quick, we're skipping this Friday. We'll be back July 1st.
Okay, I lied. We're skipping this Friday.
No, you didn't lie. You were mistaken.
So I was mistaken, and we're skipping this Friday. But usually it's every Friday, 7 to 8 Eastern time. And Nick has some great stories because a lot of stuff comes from his personal collection, and he's been sitting on it, hasn't seen the light of day in like 15, 20 years.
And because it's July 1st, there will be a good amount of Captain America and Superman, and maybe Homelander.
Nice.
We need him to help us celebrate the holiday.
Marcus, you are right. We never did. So we'll do that on Wednesday's show.
Oh, wait a minute. Did people make bets how many times he's watched it?
A few did.
But we didn't keep their number. We'll do it on Wednesday. And the number
we'll do it on Wednesday. Because the number will change. Exactly.
Ronald, if it's in on Wednesday, if it's in on Wednesday,
or it comes if it comes tomorrow or Wednesday
it's not coming tomorrow. He's shipping it tomorrow because because the branch near him was closed.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. So
but
if it comes
there's a chance
Wednesday,
that we'll have it Wednesday.
Yeah, if it comes Wednesday early before the show, I will definitely throw it on there, Ron. I promise. Okay.
Pretty good time to thank everybody for joining us, right?
Thank you, everybody. As always, we love doing the show. We thank Robbie for being here, and we thank you guys.
I mean, Robbie actually has something to do. He runs a business.
Yeah,
for me, this is just, I can't go see a movie in just 2 hours. It is new comic book day for me on Monday. Wednesday, there's time to go out and get Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, Elvira, and Harland. John Carter Mars, which I love. I really like this new direction. But the thing that's really kind of cool is the first issue of Samurai Sonya comes out as seen in Sonyaversal. We're sort of seeing a little bit of the standout characters from both Vampyverse and Sonyaversal getting, limited series, one-shots, whatever. Keep kind of putting it out there, which versions of these characters you like.
Right. So check it out. Also, check out Robbie's movie review show, horror movie review show, at 9:00 Eastern tonight on his YouTube channel, Pop Culture Philosophers. All right, always a good time. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you guys Wednesday.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.